Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive challenge that literally every entrepreneur, creator, and business leader faces at some point. How do you take a completely raw, untested idea and actually transform it into a viable, winning business strategy? Well, we are breaking down the foundations of innovation and opportunity screening right here, right now, so you walk away with a structured, rock-solid roadmap for your next big swing. Okay, let's dive into this by addressing the elephant in the room. Is innovation just about inventing things? Because, we so often limit that word innovation to crazy tech breakthroughs or filing new patents. But in reality, absolutely not. True business innovation is simply any change that adds tangible value. It's really that simple. To find and filter those valuable changes down to a single winning strategy, we're going to use a funnel approach. Here is our roadmap. We'll start with the 4 innovations, then cover spotting opportunities, run through the 3-stage idea filter, and finally wrap up with a go, no-go checklist. All right, starting at the top of our funnel with section 1, the 4 innovations. The first type is probably the most familiar to us. Product innovation. This is when you introduce a completely new good or service, or you make a really significant improvement to an existing one. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what Apple did when they transitioned from the iPod to the iPhone, right? They didn't just invent a new category out of thin air. They drastically improved upon the concept of a portable media player by smashing it together with a phone and an internet communicator. That significant improvement added immense, game-changing value. But hey, what if you don't actually change the product itself? Well, that brings us to our second type, process innovation. This is all about changing your method of production or delivery to skyrocket efficiency or slash costs. Think about Amazon. The books and electronics they sell aren't necessarily unique to them, but their use of automated warehouse robotics, that is a massive process innovation. They entirely changed how the product gets from a dusty shelf to your front door, fundamentally altering retail efficiency. It completely proves that how you deliver a product can be just as profitable as what the product actually is. Next up, we have marketing innovation. This happens when you implement new methods of product design, packaging, pricing, or promotion to better connect with your customers. A fantastic example here is the recent explosion of influencer marketing, or the massive shift we've seen towards subscription models. You might literally be selling the exact same software or razor blades as your competitor, but if you innovate your pricing to a seamless monthly subscription or promote it through brand new social channels, you are engaging in serious marketing innovation. Finally, we reach business model innovation. This is a fundamental change to the very core of how a company creates, delivers, and captures value. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly Netflix represents this. They completely pivoted from a pay parental DVD mail service to a digital streaming subscription service. They didn't just change their marketing, they changed the entire economic engine of their company, the whole shebang. That is business model innovation at its absolute finest. Moving right along, section 2, spotting opportunities. So, now that we know what innovation looks like, how do we actually find it in the wild? Well, successful entrepreneurs don't rely on luck. They treat opportunity identification as a highly disciplined practice. First, there's environmental scanning. This means actively monitoring step trends. Those are social, technological, economic, and political shifts to spot behavioral changes way before the competition does. Second is problem identification, literally hunting for expensive or deeply frustrating pain points in everyday life. And third is gap analysis, observing underserved niches where current market offerings just aren't cutting it. To completely supercharge that creative process, you can use a brilliant tool called SCAMPER. That stands for substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other uses, eliminate, and reverse. Instead of trying to invent from scratch, you interrogate existing ideas. You ask yourself, hey, can I combine a phone and a camera? Or what features can I eliminate to lower my costs? It forces your brain to transform the ordinary into incredibly exciting new concepts. Section 3, the 3-stage idea filter. So the crucial point is you just can't pursue every single idea you generate. You go broke. Let's move to and see how this builds in a sequential 1, 2, 3 progression. This screening filter tests your raw concepts rigorously to prevent you from wasting precious time and capital. We start with step 1, the initial gut check. The survivors of that move to the market and technical assessment, and only the absolute strongest reach the final go/no-go decision. Here in stage 1, the gut check, you must be brutally honest with yourself. Really, start with alignment. Does this idea actually fit your personal skills, your passion, and your long-term goals? Listen, if you hate the industry, do not build a business in it. From there, you verified basic viability. Is there a real customer problem being solved here, and is the market size large enough to even care? And crucially, don't overlook legality. Are there obvious regulatory barriers that make this impossible right out of the gate? If the idea survives these checks, it gets to move down the funnel. Stage 2 demands hard, objective answers. First, real market research. Who exactly is your target audience? And honestly, how fierce is the competition? Next comes technical feasibility. Can this product actually be built with today's tech? And is the supply chain accessible to you? Then you hit financial estimation. You've got to map out your production costs versus your potential price points. Can your business realistically achieve a positive margin? Because let me tell you, if the math doesn't work here, the idea dies here. For the few survivors, we arrive at stage 3, the go/no-go decision, utilizing a detailed SWOT analysis. Now, this isn't just about listing out random traits. It is about forcing a collision between your internal factors, like your team's specific strengths, operational capacity, or glaring weaknesses, and external factors, like huge market opportunities or looming economic threats. This is your ultimate reality check to see if the market timing and your internal readiness actually align. And that brings us to the final squeeze at the bottom of our funnel. Section 4, the go/no-go checklist. When making that ultimate final call, you have to force your idea through these 3 specific criteria. Desirability. Do people actually want or need this? Feasibility. Can we actually build and deliver this thing effectively? And viability. Is this a sustainable, money-making model? If you can confidently look at this checklist and answer yes to all 3, congratulations. You have successfully transformed a raw, untested idea into a highly disciplined strategic opportunity that is completely ready for execution. Now that you understand the mechanics of this entire screening process, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. How are you going to apply this? Would you benefit from deep diving into specific, practical methodologies like the lean startup or design thinking to put these exact frameworks into motion? The strategic foundations are now officially in your hands, but the true power lies in what you decide to build next. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep innovating.